welcome to episode 10 of my Code Vein 2 walkthrough. Right now we're going to be taking on, let's see what it's called, the Abandoned Land. That's what it's called. I just looked at the name before I started recording. The Abandoned Land. So we got a couple enemies here at the front, and this is one of the dungeons you have to do for the main story, so everybody will see this one as they're going through. Oh, Slimy. Hey, buddy. He's a little booger. I'm going to call him a booger.
Stay sharp.
Okay, so in here you've got a couple of different, it's just one big rectangle dungeon, but you know, you basically have a left side and a right side and a middle. So we're going to go down the left side to start, and then we're going to go around the right side. And if you go down the if you go around the outside, you'll also find that golden nectar that we found in the last episode. So most of these guys are going to be pretty easy to put off balance, so they won't be able to attack us more than if they're able to attack us at all, it won't be more than once, as long as we're getting those initial 2 attacks in before they're able to get any attacks in. So you can see these guys are falling. They're falling easily because I went around and I gathered all the Pathoses. So we just got Orbital Blade, which is a really fun move. So I went around and got all the Pathoses before I started doing dungeons, and we've already done a couple of dungeons in the last episode, but none of the main ones. Or, well, my mistake. Limestone Cavern is a main one. So on the right side here, we have another treasure chest that we're about to pick up.
Aren't you forgetting something?
And we just got ourselves the Bleeding Shield. So the Bleeding Shield is just a normal shield, a light shield that just is better against defense against bleeding effects. That was a much harder.
That's dangerous.
It shouldn't have been that hard to say that simple thing. I hate these little like stationary turret guys. I should have just gone in for the attack instead of dodge rolling, but anyways, so now we're gonna go around and we are gonna head towards the boss. If I can stop, oh, Lance boy, you don't suck me in, I suck you in. That sounded wrong. Okay, so we got the 2 items that were in this very small rectangular dungeon. And now we are heading into the boss fight. It's a pretty simple boss. It's just a human being, Bernard, the dead-eyed retainer. So first thing I'm going to do is get my buffs up. So now, oh, 3 attacks. Oh, fuck. I can't see around all this stupid lightning. This lightning is impairing my vision so much. So I'm just trying to build up my stacks of my sword ability before I start using this. And now I'm going to use my Blood Reaver Blade. And the key for the Blood Reaver Blade is to let go of it right when there's the second. Oh shit! I got in there right when the second thing flashes. So when it flashes for a second time. Come on, Lyle, you fucking asshole. So that lightning is unbelievable. I'm just going to go in with another Blood Reaver. Ah, yes, and I went right under him again. And as you can see, that one did substantially less damage. 2,000 less damage on a rough estimate. I couldn't really tell how much less. And that is mostly going to be because I did not have my... That's going to be because I didn't have my my buff all the way up. So now I'm just going to hit him with some range attacks. Right there, I hit him with a couple chain lightnings. And then Lyle will go in there and finish him off. No point in getting froggy.
That should do it.
So pretty easy fight. Now you're done with the first 2 story dungeons. So now you'll learn a little bit more about Lyle, and we're going to head back to Forward Base 2. And inside of Forward Base 2, we're going to get our next mission. So we got the Nameless Halberd. Very cool for beating him. Let's go ahead and throw it on for a second just to check it out. I like to throw on the weapons and just kind of see what they do. So this is a strength dex weapon, just like what we have right now. And honestly, I like that moveset. I like that moveset a lot. Let's check out what the heavy attack does. Single target heavy attack with a, and this is charged heavy. Let's see, jumping heavy. Oh, I like that jumping heavy too. I might come back to this weapon later as a strength dex weapon. I'm not gonna lie, I like sweeping movesets like this, and I like the long range on this. and most spears don't really have like this sweeping sword moveset. I mean, honestly, this feels more like a very fast one-handed sword. That's not bad. I don't mind that at all. Ooh. I might try that out on some other enemies. The only reason I don't try it out on the guy right in front of me is because that stupid turret guy's off to the left. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're heading back to forward base 2.
Good, you're back.
And at forward base 2, we're going to get our next mission, which is honestly going to be, it's really simple. They just tell you to like walk around and talk to the people, but you don't have to. They have some interesting lore if you want to read it, but you don't have to. I'm just going to see what this guy has again. I forget. Overdrive is a good buff ability. It's not the best, and I'm not going to use it, but it's there. Just grab a couple of the Forma, use up some of that haze I got stacked up. So just talk to Craig. If you want to, you can talk to these guys. The big dudes, so they all look exactly the same, but there's one dude right here. And this guy always talks so much. Like,
we go, but that's it.
I mean, yeah, like 4 voice lines for a random NPC, and sometimes it's more than that. It's not always that short. But for a random NPC, he should not be having any voice lines. You know what I'm saying? So now, what he wants us to do is he wants us to go and take the bridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to run down here. We're going to get this mistle here. And then we're actually going to knock out the 2 dungeons over here. So Underground Shelter on the Outskirts and the Central Underground Facility. We'll knock out both of those before we do the main dungeon of this area. I like to do all the side content before I do the main content. And saying that doesn't change the fact that I'm not going to be doing a lot of the stuff that we're coming back for later. So like, for example, so every character has missions in almost every zone. And so some of these places are like, I think the Plateau Ruins we come back to later for a side mission. Miner's Abandoned Village, I think we come back to for a side mission, but feel free to explore everything. Obviously, you know, play how you want to. So here we go, we're chilling, going down the elevator. What's that guy doing? I'm gonna fucking kill that guy. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm pretty sure I can knock out 3 dungeons in this episode. I won't be able to knock out this castle, which I don't want to knock out the castle right now. I just want to open this door and get the mistle. And there's also a new Yadwiga minion that'll spawn once you do that too. I really thought there was an enemy right here. So this is basically just, they're at forward base 2 right now, and their goal is to take this castle back from Craig, or for Craig, from, I don't want to say who, you don't find out who, it's a person named Imogen, but you don't really find out who they are till later in the game. Unless I just totally missed it when they told you.
There's some I hate to trouble.
So now Lou's gonna want to talk. You know, Lou's always wanted to talk in the confluence. So I am just gonna skip that, but please enjoy. You got some good lore stuff. I think right there she wants to talk to you about a one of the keys to open the cocoons. One of the keys to open the cocoons. Let's talk to Yadwiga's minion. Okay. Okay, so this is actually a duplicate of a vendor that we saw earlier. Okay, cool. I did not realize that vendor had a duplicate, but now that I know, I'm gonna go do some research. Okay, so now we are heading to the Central Underground Facility, which we unlocked 2 episodes ago, and we are finally doing this episode. If I'm not mistaken, this dungeon is like super dark, but it could be the other dungeon that's super dark. Okay, this one is the one with the lightning. Okay, this one is not super dark. So the other dungeon, like kind of to the north of this one, is super dark. Okay, so I'm just kind of staying up top for now because I want to see if there are any items, which there's only 1. So now I'm going to kind of peek down to see where an enemy is, and I fell down. I was trying to see where an enemy was, and I was going to do a drop heavy on him. Sounded like I had one more behind me, but I guess that was just the death screams of that guy right there. So I want to say that this hole in the wall is not the main way. So we're going to go down here first. You know, you always wanted to do the side content. Oh, look at all them slimies. Let's see if we can't group them up and get some chain lightnings going on. So sadly, chain lightning's only getting 2 of them. Oh, the other ones hadn't aggroed on me. Okay. But still easy peasy. Would have been cool if I could get the chain lightning on all of them. I hate it. I hate the NPCs in this game and how they have voice lines like, oh, you missed something. It's like, we just found the chest. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so inventory, we just got the Prismatic Veil. So temporary boost guard defense. So I never guard, so that'll be useless for me. But if you're really good at guarding, more power to you. Use it. I never, literally never guard. I always dodge roll out of the way. And I know it's a mistake, and it's one of the reasons I'm so bad at parrying, because I never, like, try to do it. So these guys always take a ridiculous amount of time to start attacking. And had I just gotten in there and hit him, if there's another one of him, you'll see what I'm talking about. But if I had just gotten in there and started hitting him, he would have gotten off balance and never been able to attack me. Instead, I use my Phantom Assault and get my face pushed in. Here, I'll show you right here. I'll reset the dungeon real quick at the Mistle. So now we were able to get the map goblin. So let's just look at the layout of the map real quick and I'll kind of show. So we came over here, we went down this ladder, got the chest, and now all we have left to do is to head here and fight the boss. So easy peasy dungeon. If you don't want to see what I was talking about with that guy, you know, I guess you can skip forward to the timestamp for the boss. Okay. So I just want to reset that real quick. What the heck is this room right here? Is there just like a random enemy in this room? Two random enemies. So you can see on the mini map that there was 2 dots where you could see the enemies. Okay, so that was it. There was just this one item in here. I mean, a Hellfire Weapon Salve, I'm not going to say no to it, but I'm probably never going to use it. You know what? Let's use it on this boss. Screw it. I might as well start using some items. I'm so bad about it, though. I'm so bad about it. Even though there's so many buff items in this game that would make fights easier, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Okay, so this guy, you'll see what I'm talking about. He takes forever to attack, so I'm just going to get in there and start hitting him, and he's going to go off balance and never be able to actually get that attack off. So had I not done, like, the fancy Phantom Assault move, I would have been safer, you know? So now you're going to get across the electricity, and now we are at the boss.
Hey,
Almost at the boss. I'm mistaken. We are not at the boss. I forgot there was another layer down here. I mean, I've only run all these dungeons one time, you know, on my main, to kind of like figure out, okay, here's this, so I could get the walkthrough together. And also to play the game, because obviously, bro, that guy was trying to cheat. I didn't like how he dodged my Phantom Assault right there by having a wall in the way. So I used it twice, even though I really should be, I really should have saved that Ichor for the, oh wait, there's a respawn stone. Ignore me. So hit the respawn stone, and now you're in for a fight. So you can see there are 2 dogs in it. Actually, there's 1 dog, and there's one of those really annoying dog-looking things. I would tell you their names, but there is not a, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Okay. I ran up to him like I was going to attack, and then I stopped myself because I was like, oh, I want to buff up. And then it's like, but then I should have just attacked and I would have been fine. If you can't tell, I'm very irritated right now by how this is going. I'm very unhappy. Both of these ads should be dead already. And the fact that they're not is making me mad. Get a chain lightning in there. I don't remember that guy being as tough as he is, but I'm also lower level than I was the first time I came in here. And I actually saved this dungeon until like I was doing Holly's zone. So anyways, we're finally done with that. Let's get Blade Dance back up. I am getting irritated at this guy. And I mean, even when he's not aiming at me, you can't go in and attack him because he swings all the way in a circle. So I'm just gonna chill out here. I did not want to go into that, but now he is out. So I just did a block right there, right before he hit me, so I could stay in his range and actually get some attacks off. And now that he is focused on him, I am going to rebuff and get ready for a Blood Reaver Blade. And there is actually something I could be doing to make my Blood Reaver Blades really strong, and that is put on the booster that it increases your attack damage after a drain attack. So that really is strong with Blood Reaver Blade. And so now I can just sit back and Chain Lightning him and he'll die. Fantastic. I love it when it gets easy like that. The Crimson Floating Swords. I'm a big fan of how these Crimson Floating Swords look. Even though, so I've used them a couple times, but I've never like put together a proper build for them. I just kind of threw them on. And I'm a big fan of how these things look. And I would love to take the time to put a proper build together for these things. And when you do a charged heavy, you get that nice little fire effect. It shoots out that thing. I mean, these are just sweet looking. So they're Dexterity, Mind, Willpower. Man, I really, I want to put together a build for those later. Okay, Jaded Curb Blades. Okay, let's head back to the dungeon entrance. Actually, we didn't even have to. We can just teleport out. Sometimes I'm a little spacey. Okay, now we're teleporting to Underground Shelter on the Outskirts. I'm especially a little spacey right now. It's relatively late at night, not that late. But I also just have been doing a lot today, so... Let's turn on our flashlight. I rarely turn the flashlight on, but this dungeon specifically is like... very... dark. Like, this dungeon... just like itself is very dark. Nice, I got the Judgment Halberd Gregory. I actually think that's my second Judgment Halberd Gregory. Let's check this out because I definitely, yeah, it is my second one. Okay. I was about to say, were there two halberds that had almost exactly the same name, or was it the same one? It was the same one. Okay, so if you have a range weapon right here, you can take out these range guys. Otherwise, just keep running diagonally. The only reason I got shot right there is because I went straight for a second, and then I only got shot right there because I locked onto the wrong enemy, and then took forever to lock off of him. I'm just gonna leave that guy. I'm not gonna stress about him. Might as well heal up too. Heal, heal, heal. Okay, now we're heading down, if I'm not mistaken. We gotta pull this lever to summon... What are we summoning? There it is. Okay, we opened the gate over there. It's like, we're doing something with this lever, but... I wanted to say elevator, which it did open the door to an elevator. But, you know, I couldn't see it. And we're heading down, down, down.
Did that activate it?
Real deep, deep, deep. Okay. Perfect. So we're running to the left, and one of these dudes is over here. You know how much I hate these guys, especially after the last boss. Figured I might as well use some of my I-Core since I'm not using any of it. Okay. So this, I'm trying to remember. I want to say right here. Oh man, didn't even register that there was more enemies. I was too busy trying to look down. Okay, is that a fall to your death, or can you... Is there stuff down there? Okay, if there is stuff down there, there'll be a ladder somewhere. Okay, there is stuff down there. But maybe I can't survive the fall. This kind of reminds me of a Xenon dungeon you'll do later. And it is actually very close to here that you'll do the dungeon I'm thinking of. So, looking back that way... Okay, yeah. That would be a death right there. Oof. Sorry for playing so badly. Like, I saw that coming, I was good to go, and then... You know, just... got hit in the face. Okay. So, I mean, Lyle's just kicking ass and taking names over here. He's like, yo, sit back, Foogs. Okay, next lever is up here on the right. And then we've got 3 enemies below us. Jesus. Jeez, all
Should be
Pete's.
able to get through now.
Okay, I'm gonna do the heavy attack. The heavy drop attack on this isn't super strong, and I missed him with it because why not? And I know I have 2 enemies behind me. That attack took 10 years to charge up. Jesus. He was going in for the attack, which looked like a close range attack, and I was ready for it, and then it like took a while to get off, and then I was like, oh, maybe he's not attacking. Okay, so we just got Sly Vengence. I do not remember what Sly Vengence done, so we'll take a second to look at that, and we'll also look at a couple of the forma we've picked up in this episode. So we've got Sly Vengence. For limited time, taking damage generates fiery projectiles that attack the enemies. That's an interesting ability, and I've never used it, so I might pop that on instead of Chain Lightning and just see how it does. And then I guess the last forma we got on the new page is a temporarily boost guard defense against elemental attacks for you and your allies. Not bad for Prismatic Veil. So if you're going up against an elemental boss, it's worth considering. And here we have our final pathos of this is our final pathos of this zone, Corroded Scar. And now we have our revive stone and we have the boss.
Looks like we've made
So
it
that
to the
area that I was looking at where I was like, I think I can drop down there, but I might die. That might be this boss room. And it is, it looks like. Oh, didn't see that coming. And this is why locking on is a bad idea. Because you get stuck around. This guy is a lot faster than he looks. And I hate not having the light dodge roll. Okay, now that his little minions are out of the way, I'm going to be able to focus on him much better. I would feel a lot better about what I'm doing right now. Lyle, where you at, boy? Okay. So now I'm trying to build up the, I was building up my Blade Dance, but now it's time to go in and attack. And you can see by building up my Blade Dance, it did a lot more damage than it did earlier when I didn't build up my Blade Dance. And you can see the Blood Reaver Blade just kind of like eats these guys up. And by guys, I mean like most bosses. So, yeah, sometimes the attacks, I'm not trying to be horrible, but sometimes the attacks, like, don't make, I guess I can do a drain attack, even though I could have also done a Blood Reaver Blade and just taken him out, finish him off. But I can also just do a half-charge Blood Reaver Blade right here and finish him off, so not a big deal. And there we go with Invigorating Rush. Let's check that one out real quick, because I've temporarily restore stamina when you successfully dodge an enemy attack. Not bad if you're really good at dodging. So now the question is, does it have to be a perfect dodge or not? So that's the real question. Okay, now that we're done with that dungeon, we are teleporting out of here. And do we have any other dungeons we're knocking out before the main castle? And I want to say the answer to this is no. Okay, you know what? We do. We have the supply fort. So the supply fort is the first area you come to when you come into Corroded Scar. And you first arrive at it when you don't have a partner, right? So I said, go get Lyle first and then explore it. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Now over here to the left, so we're just to kind of orient everybody, here's where you enter the Corroded Scar. And here's the first thing, the first, supply fort. And then off here to the left, you're going to have this boss, well, he's not a boss, this kind of big minion over here. And the question that I have is kind of like, oh, what's so important over here? And there's really nothing so important over here. Okay, there we go. One hit knocked him out with the Blood Reaver Blade. And that's something I actually haven't been doing very much, is using Blood Reaver Blade to just kind of take big guys out quickly. And the main reason is I just don't have a lot of I-Core on this build right now. But definitely something worth doing if you're going to I can't summon my motorcycle right here. Definitely something worth doing if you're having a hard time with like tougher enemies like that, because the Blood Reaver Blade will generally take them out in one go. You know, as long as you're like level appropriate for where you're at. So especially late game, like in the final upheaval era, like the final areas, there were some enemies that the Blood Reaver Blade would just decimate them super quick, and any other fight with them would just take so long. You know, even with maxed out weapons with perfect, using 3 attack buffs and using multiple, just like really spending the time to buff yourself up and get ready. Okay, so there's a couple different ways that this dungeon kind of lays out. First, we're going to explore this downstairs area, then we're going to kind of head up, and you'll see that there's actually, if we look right there, that's kind of the end of the dungeon up there. So that's kind of where we want to be. And I say dungeon very loosely here because this isn't like a proper dungeon with a boss, I don't believe. So this is just kind of a collection of rooms and items to gather. And there are a couple of forma in here, and I even think there's some weapons in here to grab. Just kind of breaking everything and looking around. Very nice, very nice. Okay. So, based on what I'm seeing right now, if you just want to head straight up, feel free to do it. Don't feel no need to look around right here. And that elevator over there is locked right now. That's a shortcut that we'll come back down to later. And just kind of looking back here to see if there's any shinies. No, there's no shinies. Okay. And what I do like the fact that they auto mark shinies at your character kind of line of sights. So here's where the dungeon proper starts. Ooh, what's this? Secret tunnels, secret tunnels.
How did you find this?
Nice, Heart Remnant 3. And then that's it. I mean, a Heart Remnant 3 is not nothing, but it's not like that exciting, you know?
Hold on.
You'll have way more Heart Remnants that you can shake a stick at. Like, so Heart Remnants upgrade your Bequeath Forma, so like Blood Reaver Blade. So it's going to be really good right now to go level up Blood Reaver Blade. Let's see what... I sell Blood Reaver Blade at level 1. So I haven't leveled it up at all, which is crazy to me. And we're definitely going to go level it up right after this dungeon. Maybe even when I hit the first Mistle in the dungeon. So there is actually a Mistle on the 2nd floor. And I might actually go level it up when we hit that. Because why not? Got this little... Yeah, Phantom Blade has one of those weird hitboxes, you know, so you just saw right there, and that's actually the 2nd time in this episode we've seen where like an enemy's been too low for it to hit them, you know? Items. I'm like a little crack addict for items. Is there anything behind that box? I don't think so. Okay, so we actually already found the Mistle up here, and we're gonna hit it, and I am teleporting back to Magmel in the present time to get that you know what I'm saying, to get that Blood Reaver leveled up, assuming I have any Heart Remnants 1 and 2. I'm sure I do, and if I don't, I'll probably be able to buy them, maybe. I haven't been very studious about getting all the Yadwiga minions, so. Okay, Magmel. Magmel. Go ahead, upgrade down here. And we'll upgrade our weapon too. Okay. Don't have enough Crimson Stones. Let's upgrade that Forma. Yeah, so we got a Blood Reaver Heart 1, Blood Reaver Heart 2, Blood Reaver Heart 3, all the way. There we go. Very nice. And let's see if we can upgrade our jails at all. So which is my highest level jail? It's actually the Reaper jail. Very nice. I do love me the Reaper jail. Let's take the... Oh, we just unlocked our 2nd weapon slot. Oh, no, we didn't. We need pure Platinum 6. Once we get 1 pure Platinum 6, we'll unlock our 2nd weapon slot. But still, very close. When any jail, even if it's not equipped, hits level 11, you unlock your 2nd weapon slot. Now, I'm not going to say putting on a 2nd weapon's a good idea, because it can be a bad idea if it overburdens you. Or if it takes you from a light dodge roll to like a heavier dodge roll. I was like, where the heck is Yadwiga?
Rocks.
Okay, I don't have enough rocks. So now we're heading back to Lyle's time, which is 2178. I need to sit down and write all the dates out so I can kind of figure out the actual timeline of between like you helping all of these people in the past and then the upheaval, because I've been curious about that. And then your free exploration also. So now that we're here, we can teleport back to the supply fort upper level. I've been curious about like the timeline because I think quite a few years passes between like your initial going back to help Jose, and then like I think it's like 10 years between that and the free exploration. Then the free exploration changes later, and so there's just quite a bit of there's quite a few different times. And then also, just like I said, some of your times change as you're progressing. So like the free exploration changes. Okay, so we got a werebeast right here, and we'll just take him out with a Blood Reaver blade. I'm probably gonna look at getting some more Ichor if I can. And the sad thing is we're on this blood code B, so we're not gonna get any upgrades to this blood code anytime soon, which is fine. Which is fine. So this little guy right here was pretty easy. He has a shield. The shields can be really, really annoying. So one of my favorite things to do with the shield guys is actually to use a Blood Reaver blade. And I know I've said that like about a lot of people, but the shield guys are especially annoying. So I guess I got attacked from behind without realizing it. And what I should be doing right here is I should be focusing on getting at least one back attack into a drain, but I didn't, because then I could get my Ichor back. So normally, man, I'll tell you what, my first playthrough, I'm like really studious about making sure I always have Ichor and stuff. And then when I'm putting together this video, I'm just kind of like, I'm so much more distracted, so I play so much worse. And then I, it's just a lot. Anyways, so here's where I was looking at earlier when I said this is kind of like the final little area we want to get to. That does not mean we're done exploring. But as you can see, up here is the map goblin, and then we also have that guy over there. But there's also an area this way. So we're going to go this way, we're going to get the elevator, we're going to do a couple of things. So before we fight that guy, which I don't think he's very hard, but we're going to go start the elevator up. And we are just going to make sure that we have that shortcut unlocked, which isn't really going to help us. So we'll just explore this way, and we'll do all of this before we kind of do the final guy, so we can do the final guy and then exit. So here we go. Pure Platinum 1. Really, just a Pure Platinum 1. I'm surprised. It's early-ish in the game, but I didn't think it was that early that we're still getting Pure Platinum 1. Okay, if I just hit this, does the elevator work? Or do I have to get on it? I guess I'm just gonna get on it to make sure. Oh my god, now we're stuck on the elevator. It's taking so long. Oh my god, get me to the bottom. I got a funny elevator story in real life. I was in an airport with my wife and her mom, and we got on an elevator, and like, I can't talk to her mom because her mom doesn't speak English. So they were like chatting and stuff, and maybe I was on my phone, or maybe I was talking to my wife, and all of a sudden it just clicks in my brain that we've been stuck in the elevator for a while and it's not moving. And we were only going like, you know, airport elevators, it's only like a floor, right? We're in like a parking garage. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how long we were actually in there when I realized it, but it could have been like 10 seconds. But just something snapped in my brain, and I was like, we're stuck in here, because it wasn't moving for so long. And, you know, it could have been 5 minutes, or it could have been 10 seconds. I don't know. My brain just kind of broke. And, yeah, I immediately hit the emergency button, called, I don't want to say the police, but maybe. Let's get some Ichor in here. Okay, so this guy's not actually a threat at all. So one Blood Reaver blade should be enough to take him out. Okay, since my drain did that much damage to him, I knew that he wasn't going to be a challenge. Okay, here we go. We just got the Breath of the Titan. So the Breath of the Titan is actually really fucking good. It enhances your weapons to make them stronger with physical attacks. So you can actually increase your strength modifier and maybe your dexterity modifier too by putting a Breath of the Titan on there. Okay, grants strength bonus. So it's really good for like strength weapons. Very strong. Highly suggest for if you're going for a pure strength build, highly suggest Breath of the Titans on your weapons. I did a couple strength builds and put it on there, and it dominated. So we just knocked out 3 of the dungeons, and I'm just looking around and seeing, is there anything else I want to do before we head into the castle? And the answer to that is no. I am not seeing any other area that I really want to knock out before we head into the castle. So I'm going to keep this episode here because we're at 35 minutes. So in the next episode, though, we are going to knock out this castle, and this castle is huge. So I'm going to try to do it in 1 episode, but if it goes too long, it might be 2. So we're going to knock out Pioneer Castle in the next episode. So I will see you then.